Ladies and gentlemen, I've just logged onto the server after reading through my YouTube comments to see this. This is not good. This is not good. Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 103 and yeah, we have got a dilemma on our hands here because obviously, you know, things have been escalating on Sahara Street. I wanted to have the tallest house on Sahara Street and clearly the other members of Sahara Street also wanted to have the tallest houses. So things have been going skyward a tiny bit. But one thing that I wasn't expecting to happen is other members of the server getting involved, and I definitely wasn't expecting members of Concorp to get involved. Now obviously this is particularly vexing as Concorp are kind of, they're our competitors, and it looks bad on us that now the tallest house in Hermitville is a member of Concorp and not members of Sahara. With that being said, don't tell Iskal and Grin that I said this. Scar, this house is top notch. This is seriously cool. Really jealous of it. Clearly, Iskal either heard what I was saying and has come to punch me off the island, or also thinks the same thing. I don't really know what to do about this. I mean, do we continue fighting among ourselves to try and have the tallest house on Sahara Street, or do we just kind of band together and try and have the tallest house in Hermitville to beat out Concorp? It's difficult because I still kind of want to have the tallest house on Sahara Street. I know that's childish, but I can't help it. Anyway, in today's Hermitcraft episode, we're going to be coming back over into this area here. This is maybe the biggest mess I think I've ever created in any form of my builds. This used to look nice, and then gradually over time it's completely deteriorated. Anyway, I think we'll do something about that in the next Hermitcraft episode because I've got some plans from that. But what I want to actually do today is work on another technical build. So we're back over in the industrial perimeter where we can build horrible, ugly, technical things and not have them ruin the look of anything. What I want to do is work with the new TNT in Minecraft 1.14, the stuff that drops 100% of the things that it breaks. Now to do this, we're going to need to clear out some space, which means that we're going to need to get rid of this massive pool of lava here. I fear that might not have been the move to do this most efficiently. I've just created a massive cobblestone and obsidian tower. Why did I do that? Why did I think that was a good idea? All this over literally one layer of lava. I think actually because it's been so long, let's do a super fast time lapse. Now in today's super fast time lapse chat, I think it's time for a bit of a celebration because according to Hermitbot on Twitter, which is essentially an account made by a fan that just aggregates a whole bunch of data about the Hermits, according to that Twitter account, today is my 6-year birthday on Hermitcraft, which is the weirdest thing. I can't believe 6 years have passed. I mean, how old would I have been? So I'm 23 now, so I would have been 17, so pretty young. It feels like just yesterday. I mean, I've only been doing YouTube for 7.5 years on this channel, so I actually got onto the Hermitcraft server pretty early on in my YouTube channel, which is, I always thought there was a massive space in between starting on my YouTube channel and being on Hermitcraft, but clearly not. It's so strange to think. And as I said, I still feel like the new guy sometimes. I remember joining the server for the first time. I remember playing on it. I remember building up the plaza in the center of the town and kind of feeling very excited but also very scared, kind of, because I'd never really played on a big community server before, and I had been watching Hermitcraft all throughout the first season. So actually to be a part of the server on the second season was really surreal to me. So strange. So strange. So, yeah, thank you, Hermitbot Twitter account, for making me aware of that. That's very cool. And long may it continue. Well, I gotta say that took a lot longer than expected. I kind of thought that we'd be able to fly through that within about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but no, that was not the case. That was a big chunk of rock. In fact, halfway through, I decided I needed a beacon to do this, so I actually went out, killed a wither, gathered up all of the iron blocks, and then brought one over so that we can actually haste to this thing. But now we actually have a decent platform to build things in this area here. So you can see it's on the same height as all of the other builds here. And what we actually want to do is we want to build up a cobblestone generator. Yes, I keep running out of stone and cobblestone. It's driving me absolutely nuts, so it makes total sense to fully automate that process. If we get cobblestone, then that can just be stored, and if we ever need stone, we have a massive super smelter right next to this thing that we can just chuck that cobblestone into, and it will shoot on through. Now, for anyone who's been around for a little while, you might remember this thing right here. It's something that I developed about 2 or 3 months ago, I think. And this is what I call the Sahara multi-farm. So here we have a concrete powder converter, we also have a tree farm, and we also have a cobblestone farm right here. And it's all being exploded by the same piece of TNT, and all of the drops are ending up down here. It's a pretty smart system. I'm still incredibly proud of this thing, but we aren't actually going to be using it because I kind of want to build bigger versions of all of the things featured in this farm. So originally I was going for kind of like a small design that I could fit inside my base, but now I've decided actually we're going to go all out and we're just going to build giant versions of each one of these elements. So today we're going to focus on the cobblestone generators, which are actually, they're pretty simple. I mean, that is all the redstone for them. It just pushes across. Then we have the old TNT duplicator up at the top here. And that's it. And by my rough calculations of 36,000 redstone ticks per hour, 20 pieces of stone being generated every 15 ticks, we should end up with 48,000 pieces of cobblestone per hour. Right, part 1 has been completed, which is to lay out the foundations for this thing. So this thing right here is going to be the actual building area, and then the actual cobblestone generator is going to be going above it. Now, I've explained this a bunch of times, but obviously this perimeter, we do have to be careful about where we place blocks. For example, those blocks actually might be a bit of a problem for the rates of the witch farm, but the perimeter actually works kind of spherically. So it comes up from those hoppers and goes up like this past the edges. So we can build actually quite tall in this corner. And Iskal, I'd like to see your eyes do this. Yeah. Do I have any dead coral in my junk chests? If I do, then I'm never organising my chests again. Oh, I'm losing faith. I'm losing faith. Faith is gone. Okay, the next thing that we need to work on is we need to do all of the TNT dropping mechanisms. So we have the little item collection system down at the bottom there, and now it is time to create the TNT duplicator and then also the holding system, which will keep the TNT up at the top here until it's just primed enough that it will explode in midair above this water. And that makes it sound quite complicated. It's not too tricky. And just so you know, I realize now that I did a video the other day kind of going over the do's and don'ts of building redstone contraptions in survival, and I realized that I'm breaking maybe 30% of the rules already. Well, let's see if doing that bites me in the backside, because I'm about to test this thing out. Now, I have double checked a bunch of times. In theory, all of this should work, but you never know what's going to happen when it comes to TNT. Okay. Alright. That seems like it's doing exactly as I expected it to. So you can see what I mean. Look, the TNT is exploding in midair up in our water area. This is all working. And I was so very nervous when I kicked this thing into gear. Now, how do I turn it off safely? Not like that. Not like that. Not like that. Okay, yeah, it's a small amount that needs to be done. Now that that's all patched up, and I've kind of learned how to turn this thing off safely, it's time to start placing in all of the pistons and things. So this is where all of the cobblestone is going to be pushed down. So you can see we're going to form kind of like a square of stone going down. They're actually stone generators, but obviously when the TNT explodes, it gets converted into cobblestone. So this is where the square of stone is going to be pushed downwards, and then the TNT will explode somewhere in the middle, breaking all of it, and then pushing it into a water stream somewhere over here. Now, these stone generators are incredibly smart designs, originally by, you guessed it, Ilmango. I mean, pretty much all the things inside there. How much of this perimeter is actually originally designed by Ilmango? That is an Ilmango design. Obviously, this stone generator is an Ilmango design. The bamboo farm down there, which I'm actually not sure is working still in the current pre-release, is Ilmango. And the melon and pumpkin farms might actually be Ilmango as well. This entire place. So thank you for your service to the Minecraft community. I don't know what we'd do without you. Anyway, design-wise, this thing's actually a little bit strange. So if you just take a look at what happens here, it all happens very fast. But what happens is these pistons here push the stone blocks out the way, and then these sticky pistons retract the stone blocks downwards. So it's a little bit strange in that it's pulling downwards, and then once it's done that, this lava can then drop down, and then you get yourself your stone forming. It's pretty sweet. I have just hooked up the pushdown pistons, but I was testing them out and I had scaffolding in place, so everything was breaking. So now that I've just rebuilt that stone generator, it should all be working properly. So if I flick this lever here, let's not land in that lava, that'll be very bad news. If I flick this lever, okay, can you see? The stone is being pushed downwards. Nice. Okay, so we have got one fully functional module. Now all we have to do is build it 3 times over, and we will have ourselves a cube of stone being pushed down. Man, I still left scaffold. How am I so useless at playing Minecraft at the minute? Seriously, it's been a real problem all day. I'm about half as efficient as I normally am. I also keep losing things. Like, I crafted up 2 stacks of regular pistons earlier, and I can't find any of them right now. But I have 36 comparators randomly in this chest. Anyway, despite this, we are now halfway done on our modules, so we have got 2 of them in place. I've just started work on the 3rd, and I've just started thinking about how I'm actually going to connect up all of these modules, because they need to run into 15 redstone tick redstone clocks, because every 15 redstone ticks or every 30 game ticks is when the new stone gets generated. It used to be completely random and it was just a random chance thing, whereas now it's consistent. Every single 15 redstone ticks or 30 game ticks, we get ourselves some new stone. So that all needs to be connected in, and I guess we'll just have one universal clock here that runs into all of them. Redstone dust, redstone dust, redstone dust. That is not just the 3rd, but also the 4th module all in place. Things were getting a little bit repetitive there, so I thought I'd just jump ahead and get everything finished and all in. So this is it. This is kind of like the foundations of the build all done. So now all we have to do is we need to get ourselves, that redstone clock, which is quite a simple design. And I guess, the inputs are over here. So there's one input there, one input there, one input there, and one input there. So redstone clock above, and then lines running across. And activate everything all at once. I've just remembered the scaffoldings there. Why do I keep doing this? Seriously. I've just come back over to my base to pick up a few things, and a few people have been mentioning this turtle. Now, as far as I know, my base has never been a turtle island, but this guy keeps coming back. So we might actually have kind of like a turtle home right here, which would be cool. I haven't actually played with turtles too much in this season of Hermitcraft at all. In fact, I've never played with turtles. I don't even know really what they're useful for. Oh my word. Okay, I accidentally activated this thing when there was scaffolding still there. The TNT actually landed on it, but exploded the scaffolding and doesn't look like it's broken anything else. Alright, I've just booted up the redstone clock just to give it a go, and I think it's all working. It's really difficult to tell. There's definitely some holes we need to patch up. There's kind of water falling all over the place, and things are kind of half working. I think it's actually working at a slower efficiency. This doesn't actually look quite right. Where's that observer? Let me see if I can see that observer. Yeah, we had our redstone clock the wrong way round, so it meant that we were getting twice as many pulses as we should have been, and it was all a bit of a mess. So hopefully it should now be working properly. Okay, let's see. So is it? I think, is this correct? It's so difficult to tell. It looks good to me. It seems like we're getting plenty of cobblestone. Look at this thing. I might take some damage here, but look at all the cobblestone pouring down. That is a decent quantity, isn't it? And that poor zombie just got completely destroyed too. But it does all seem to be working quite nicely. The only thing that I would like to try and sort out is these blocks here that occasionally get left. So the issue is that our TNT either lands right through the middle or occasionally it goes off to one side. So that was straight down the middle. That one was straight down the middle. That one's off to one side. So you see, it breaks this side slightly more frequently than it breaks that side, and that means occasionally you get these guys left. I don't really know what to do about this. Other than... I mean, maybe we could have some... maybe even some pistons that push them in. Do you think that would be a good move? I'm not sure. The problem is the blast resistance of pistons is actually really, really low. So even though they'll be further away than the stone down at the bottom, the chances are they're still going to get broken. So I've come up with an idea that hopefully should work. I didn't realize that the blast resistance of iron bars is actually the same as stone and cobblestone. So what we can do is we can place just these iron bars like this in the corners, and that will stop any of the stone coming this far down, which means that it should all get exploded, and there's a very low chance of cobblestone actually landing on top of these things and having the items getting lost. We'll see how well this actually works. So I've just activated it. I've also added in all of the water streams, and this is causing some problems. I mean, thankfully, my FPS... No, we're down to 14. As soon as I start moving around, is a bit of an issue. Anyway, how's things looking? I mean, we don't have any blocks stuck on top. The iron bars do still seem to be there, which is also a bit of a positive sign. Could we be onto a winner here? It feels like we might actually be onto a winner. Oh, that was close. I almost fell down into there. The only thing that isn't quite perfect is that a lot of the cobblestone that we're actually generating is being destroyed by the TNT. Even though it's fallen into the water streams, it gets broken because the TNT obviously explodes above it. The entities get removed. So we're going to have to drop down this water stream just a tiny bit. Another idea that I have had is that if these iron bars don't quite work, then we could go for waterlogged slabs. I don't know what the blast resistance of a waterlogged slab is. Imagine it's pretty high, and that would actually push the items off of the slab as well. So that could potentially be a better option. Anyway, I say we run this thing for about half an hour now that we have a full storage system sort of set up for it. So now we can actually start receiving these drops, which they really do fly in. And yeah, we'll see what the rates are like. And already the answer is way too fast for these hoppers. We need at least twice as many. Okay, so that's quite a lot of items flying in. I mean, I could watch this all day. Just look at all the cobblestone pouring through this gap. Occasionally you get a really, really good one. That one was okay. But sometimes you'll just get a flood. There's just... automatic farms in Minecraft. I mean, what would we do without them? Oh dear. We had a lag spike and everything's broken. I mean, I probably have enough cobblestone to last me a few weeks. I'm just gonna leave this mess here. Thanks for watching. 8 hours of my life have blown up. Okay, I think I'm gonna go now. See ya.